Magnification volume 0%.
Good afternoon. I am Blind Prime, and you are watching Blindformers. This is part 6 of our Devastator series. And for you today, I have Longhaul. Longhaul is the dump truck of the Constructacons. He has, well, dump truck-like qualities. Though, sadly, his bed doesn't raise and fall except to transform. He's got 4 big old wheels, and he can actually carry all the accessories needed to create Devastator on his back. So on his back here we have 2 of the fists, which they fold into themselves to be missile pods, and his Devastator gun, which splits in half and stores neatly in the back, and we will discuss that in a minute. And then the wings, which will connect to the big guns on the front of the dump truck right here. And these are all the pieces necessary to create Devastator, all his accessories. So before I get into it too much, let's go ahead and take care of the sizing. So this guy is the big boy of the group. He is huge. He is pretty wide. Size-wise, we'll go from the end of the dump truck. We won't use that bit that pokes out all the way. No, we'll measure it from the bit that pokes out. There's these 2 little bumper ends on the very end of him that poke out. Drag him off the thing and bring that over here, and we have 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 studs long. You would think he'd be longer, but his width is the thing. So width-wise, he is 17 studs wide. He is the widest vehicle mode that we have talked about so far in the series. And let's get a comparison with Cliff Jumper here. Good lord, Cliff Jumper is small. Let's see. Cliff Jumper measures from the back wheel to the end of his little fuel tank thing that actually becomes his arm in transformation. So, yeah, from the back of the back wheel all the way to the front of the fuel tank on the side of the dump truck. That's not even halfway up him. So this guy is big. Now let's discuss his accessories. So first off, we're going to remove the missile pods. There are 2 5mm peg holes on his dump truck mount for these missile pods on the very end of the dump truck. And these missile pods, actually, I will discuss them in the episode of Devastator and their transformation. We go to the other side of the dump truck, and there's another 5mm peg hole, and on the underside of the missile pod is a 5mm peg that folds out so that you can place it there. So 2 missile pods down. The wings actually kind of slide in to this. There's sometimes they don't like to come out. You would think they would just pop out. Sometimes they don't. They actually stay in here pretty well. There we go. Okay. So to get the wings in the right spots for his vehicle mode, you want to place them where the shiny, very well molded sides are connected, and then the sides that have the 2 rectangular bits next to each other. So each side has these 2, it looks like an equal sign, but they're extended pegs. So they're equal sign pegs. We'll call them equal sign pegs. There's 2 equal sign pegs, 1 on each of the wings, and you want to make sure they're facing outwards. And then on one of the wings is a 5mm peg. So, and they will put in where, in order to put them on the back of the dump truck, you want to fold them in such a way that the shortest part of the wing, the part that doesn't have the big wide bit that has a 5mm peg, So each of the wings on one end has a 5mm peg sticking out the back. You want to put them in such a way that that 5mm, both of those 5mm pegs are facing towards the front of the dump truck, and there's two little slits on a square extension on the back of the cab, and these two rectangular slits that are there can fit the edge of the wings, and they will just simply sit in there. And then they don't like to leave once you set them in there. So that's pretty amazing. They feel loose, but they're in there. So, just so you'll know. All right. Now that we're done explaining how the wings fit in, let's go over to the big gun. The big gun is pretty neat because it's got a hollow handle. And if you feel that it's a rectangular hole at the bottom of the handle, well, in the dump truck bed, there is this rectangular port that sticks up near the front of the bed. And you can easily feel with your finger and put the rectangular hole in the handle of the gun into that peg. So that's how you put the big gun on the bed. Now for the tiny gun, you pull it out. It is actually one of the most well-secured parts. It has a 5mm peg, and there is a 5mm peg hole in the very, very front of the dump truck bed. And people with eyesight talk about having trouble getting there, but you blind people out there, just use your finger, feel around, and you got it no problem. No eyes necessary. Sometimes being blind is a benefit. All right. Once we get that out, we move to the very top of the front of the dump truck, that little lip end that usually sits above the cab. And in there's another 5mm peg. And you want to, actually, I would consider that one to be more of it is a 5mm peg hole. And on the bottom of this double barrel gun is a 5mm peg. So we set that off to the side. And now we have Longhaul without this massive group of accessories. So we can actually get to his transformation. So to transform Longhaul first. Now, just so you know, we can transform him with all of the accessories in the back of the bed. I just wanted to go over them independently for the video. But you can keep them all in the back. They will stay in there during transformation. It's kind of cool. So to get the dump truck bed disengaged in order to complete transformation, you want to reach in the back of the dump truck bed. You will find a big old negative zone there where your thumb can go, hollow area, and you want to pull up and out. At the same time, grab the front of it with your other hand. This is going to take a minute because this guy doesn't like to distend. All right, we're going to have to actually fix a few things. I forgot. We got to move the arms first. So unpeg both of those fuel tanks on the sides that we talked about a minute ago with Cliff Jumper. And after you've unpegged both of those, stretch the wheels out. They're on a double hinge, so they can actually fold out a bit more. Once that's complete, grab the front of the truck, the grill area, and pull it up and out just a bit. And once that's complete, then go to the back of the bed and pop it up with your thumb in the hollow area we just talked about. Once that's done, the entire truck area is pretty big and loose. So we're going to take advantage of this looseness and not mess with it for a moment. Instead, we're going to go down to the legs. First off, you want to rotate the leg, the entire waist area. And it's got clicky clacks, people. So be aware. Oh, and one more. There it is. Okay. Once that's complete, you want to twist both legs. Well, first off, on his back, which will be the front of the waist, on the back of the waist, but it's going to be the front of the waist for Devastator, there's two little skirt pieces. Fold them upwards, so fold them away from the legs so that you can then rotate each leg a little bit in order to reach in there and pull out a foot. So rotate each leg 75 degrees. That would give you enough clearance to reach in the inside of each leg. And there's a little foot that just unfolds and sits there. We will copy the process on the other side. So rotate the first foot back in order to give enough clearance for the second foot. And then rotate that foot, or fold that foot from the inside of the leg over to the underside to make a nice foot. He's got cool knees. We'll discuss those in a minute. Now that that's done, we can stand him up. He's still heavy in the back because we're not done yet. Now, across from his big front wheels, you'll find that there's a head folded in there. This head is a little tricky to get out. Put your finger on the back of it and keep giving pressure and pulling up until it snaps into place. Heard that beautiful snap? Yeah, we all love that beautiful snap. Let's hear it again. Let's hear it again. There, nice. All right, don't forget to fold down the skirt pieces on the back, like so. That way this entire truck area can fold downwards. Now that that's complete, we want to rotate each of the arms downwards so that the fists are facing down towards the ground, and there is a head hole in the front of the truck right next to the cab. So we want to line that head hole up with the head that we poked out, and it will snap into place. You heard that delicious snap a moment ago. Fold the back of the truck bed down, and it will snap into place. Listen. Yeah. All right. This guy's got a lot of those lovely snaps that let you know you've done it right. Then fold the arm sections back in just a bit, and there you have him. He sadly does not have the ability for his arms to go up on an elbow. They go sideways for transformation's sake. And he does have knees. They do work, but his hips are very tough. But there you go. Let's get him standing straight up. Ah! Don't worry, the hips for this guy are just really, really tough. Let's talk about his height. So height-wise, from the top of the head goes over to there, and he's 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. This dude is 26 studs tall. He is a big boy. He's huge. All right, let's get something to compare him with. Where's my Bumblebee? Where you at, Bumblebee? Where you at? Where you at? Up, Bumblebee. So we got a Bumblebee here. Bumblebee goes all the way. This is the War for Cybertron Bumblebee, just as a reminder. The top of Bumblebee's head goes to just above the knee for him. This dude's more body than leg, so yeah, no, the top of the head goes right to the hip. So there's the Bumblebee comparison. He's super tiny. Yeah, Bumblebee is about as wide as one of this guy's legs. Do we have a taller Transformer that got over to the average size? Oh yes, we do. Here we go. All right, this guy was more on the average height for Transformers of the War for Cybertron lineup. He's Studio Series 86 Cup, and he stands at 23 studs tall. So he goes midway up the shoulder wheel. We put him in the front, and his head goes halfway up the grill for the front of Longhaul. Longhaul, like I said, is a big, big guy. We'll do a comparison with one of the stand up straight cup. I don't want you falling over. I have a feeling the moment I let you go, you're going to fall over. All right, we have Mixmaster here in his foot form. And as you can see or not see, the foot of Mixmaster goes to the shoulders of Longhaul. So, Longhaul is much taller than the foot, but not by a lot. now that we're done with comparisons, let's talk about transformation into his hips mode. Because this guy's the hips. Oh, yeah. All right. So first off, we want to unsnap the bucket for the dump truck. And then after that, we unsnap the front of the grill for the dump truck. And we move the front grill upwards to allow us to go in here and rotate the head back down. We don't need the head for this part. Once that is complete, we then put the dump truck head back down, minus head. So just fold it back down, just don't have a head on it anymore. That's done. We then take, before we snap down the back of the dump truck bed, we will rotate the hips 360 degrees. Once that is complete, we're going to do the process in reverse for putting the feet away. So rotate one of the legs, 75 degrees-ish. Now rotate it 75 degrees. One direction it doesn't want to rotate because of the hip skirts. Totally remember, put those hip skirts away, or else you're gonna have some problems getting enough clearance in order to fold the feet back in. Once the feet are folded back into the inside of the legs, fold the hip skirts back into place, and then there's a panel on the back of each leg that makes the leg super fat. And you want to grab that panel and rotate it up. You hear those ratchet clicks? Yeah. These panels are going to be the connection point for the legs. And once we've unfolded those panels, we want to finish making sure that he is together before we continue. So next step is to take the bed and fold the bed backwards until it snaps. Once you've folded the bed backwards until it snaps, then take both of the arms, fold them upwards so that the wheels are pointed, so that the wheel well on top of the front wheels is flat to the cab. And then fold the arm over against the wheel. Follow this process with the other side. Even though you don't have a cab to measure it on, you have this smokestack, and it will get to the same size as the smokestack. Fold over that arm so it clicks into place over the tire. Once complete, we then make sure the skirts are down, and we go over here to the leg bits that we talked about a minute ago, and they actually fold out. So you got to find out how to fold them out. These can be tricky. They took me a while to figure out. One of the reasons I started this show is for things like this, and people just said fold out and then never explained to you how. And never explained to you that they don't like to fold out either. There it goes. Okay. So the hinge is against the wheel, is near the wheel on each of the feet. So you want to reach in to the inside of the thigh and make sure that you're working on the side that has bed facing towards your face. So lay him grill down, bed up, and then go to the inside of each of those legs, and right below the knee, this ratchet knee, is a little area where you can put your finger. It's got a notch on it, little lip. We'll pull that lip, and the entire little foot assembly thing is going to fold out. And once you have folded each of those out, one on each foot, they will make the feet, or these lower bit of the leg, just as wide as the wheels. And once complete, that is done. Now, counting him, he doesn't really stand because of those weird, those things are not made for standing. They're made for holding things together, but we will hold him in place long enough to get a measurement. Let's do it. All right. Sit him down, and we'll count the top of the cab this time. And that is, oh Lord, it's easier just to measure it backwards. 30. 31. We'll say 31 studs tall. This guy went big. All right, we'll lay him down flat. And that is all for now, guys. I can't wait for next episode where I will actually put the entire Devastator assembly together and talk you through the process so that you can take your Combiner Wars Devastator and transform it for yourself. Well, until next time, I am Blind Prime, and I hope you have enjoyed watching this episode. Bye bye for now.